Hey everybody, welcome back to Court of Blades. We went through a little bit of technical problems once again, and I am sure that you will notice that our video is going to skip a lot for numerous of our folks, but you're going to get to hear their happy voices, which is really the most important thing. Though I do like it when you get to see their faces, especially when something crazy happens to them, which has happened to them a couple of times. And you can see, even as we speak, I am in the midst of trying to size down their Discord window so that it looks slightly better on here and I can grow them out just in case you guys, the video comes out and you can see their happy faces. Okay, what I'd like to do up front, because we haven't done this in a while and it's worth doing, is do a quick round robin of the team and give a thumbnail of your character, and then I will ask you a question about that character that I think might be interesting to folks. Because if they were actually chatting, we could ask a couple of those questions. So with that, I'm going to start with up at the top. We have Rob, who is playing Mocklin. Can you tell us a quick little something about Mocklin?
Yeah, he's awesome.
Well, oh gosh. Oh, you guys are helpful. Um,
Well, I mean, he's there as much as he has to think about it. He leaves a lot of the rest of the team to do what's needed to be done, and he thinks that he's just a filler.
That's interesting. What would you say is the greatest strength he brings to the team?
Oh, my gauchness, definitely.
Serious
The ability to offend people without actually meaning to.
I like it. Pete, tell us a little bit about your character.
Yeah, Pietro de Rossi, man about town, patron of the arts, and prolific inventor.
Ooh, I like that last one because he has actually invented several things. Haven't really thought about that as a main characteristic, but yeah. What would you say is the role-playing highlight of the series so far for you?
Role-playing highlight. I think it was his duel.
Yeah, it's hard to beat. That is hard to beat.
Yeah, it's a good one. Although I have to say, random bear out of nowhere. Pretty impressive.
Yes, you never know when that's going to happen. I love that about this particular system. And Christine, can you tell us a little bit about Sasha?
Sasha is a hawk. She is a dangerous bounty hunter, menacing and unflappable.
Yeah, she is.
She's heart of gold. Let's say. Well, I'm gonna add that in my own thinking. I think I'm learning this on her behalf.
I found the only time I've seen her flapped, if you want to say she's unflappable, would be when she flapped her way down off of a balcony in the middle of a party to try and protect somebody. What shook that composure?
I think that was I think that was calm, cool composure on her part. The quickest way to achieve what she wanted to achieve, which was to get down to the ground floor. So yeah, she took the curtains as her route, sliding down them.
To the point. She is a lady of action. She is a lady of action. That is for sure.
She is. Yep.
And Felix, can you tell us a little bit about Lorenzo?
I'm a street entertainer with a minute monkey, which I put in the face of danger every opportunity I get.
Very good. What do you think maybe was the most surprising thing that has happened to you in this game?
surprising.
Man, I'm putting these guys on this. I'm putting these guys on the spot to actually think. I'm just trying to warm up their brains before we get started.
There is no brain to warm up, I'm afraid, here.
Yeah, you might be trying to warm it up, but I'm trying to put it to sleep.
By the way, this is our Valentine's edition, so
Yeah. Sadly, we've been awake since 5 o'clock this morning when one of our hounds decided that it was time to mess her crate.
oh no, that's no good.
No,
It was not fun.
No.
no.
Did that cover for you, Felix? Give you a lot of time to think.
Oh, no, I thought we'd passed on that, haven't we? There's a lot. It's all monkey business, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Very good.
Monkey up the skirt was quite a highlight.
Yeah.
Monkey thing was
Up the skirt.
Monkey up the skirt.
Up the skirt.
Yeah,
on the prawn man.
That's true. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that prawn guy at some point tonight. That'll be interesting. Martin, may I trouble you to talk a little bit about Monty?
Oh, Monty. Yes, Monty is less noble person and more worker of the canals and trade routes of the realm, transporting goods, and a mind for logistics, and wanting to do right. He wants to do the right thing. Whether that comes through or not, or goes to plan, we'll see.
He's trying to put that logistical brain to other use, I've noticed lately.
Yeah.
So he's attempted to step in a little bit where Vittoria, the house intelligence officer, or I, as we would call it, who was recently assassinated, he's sort of trying to step in there a little bit, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he feels a little bit responsible for the part he played in that happening. But yeah, I mean, he certainly, I think, one of the highlights one of the key character points of late was finding the code book and working his way through that, and wanting to make sure that information didn't fall into the wrong hands.
Very good. So let us now turn to so what we've got open up on Roll20 is sort of the static scene at the end of the play that our characters just went to. It turned out to be a fiasco, and before the last act could be enacted, a bear got loose in the theater and was rampaging, causing everyone to flee, disrupting assassins who were attempting to assassinate the leader of the town, the Corvetto.
The bear's still at large, isn't it?
No, the bear was actually, I rewatched the last little bit, in that final roll where we were doing everything in one roll type of thing. Your character, Sasha, looped a chain around a column, the bear's chain. And I don't know what happened thereafter, because there is obviously a bear there. And it probably is not considered a great thing under the eyes of the law if someone were to sneak a bear into this facility. That may be investigated.
My last memories were trying to direct the panicking audience.
Yes.
By instructing them that I had a bear behind, they were to go that way. Go that way.
You and I want to say, not Monty's character. I think it may have been you that was calming the crowd.
Yeah, I was avoiding a blade to the chest.
Yeah, you just got missed. Moved just in the nick of time. Otherwise, you would have been skewered.
Anthony, quick question.
Yes.
There was a character that I threw knives into his lower legs.
I'm sorry.
There was a character, an
Mm-hmm.
assassin,
Mm-hmm.
who I threw some knives into his lower legs.
Yes.
I didn't want to kill him.
He took a fall, didn't he?
He took a fall. Is he still alive?
So that's an interesting question. What I will say is, you know what? Roll me a d6. Okay. So he's dead. He bled out on the second floor balcony. It appears he fell from the windows up above, which happens to be fairly close to where the bear in a box
Yeah,
took place.
I can't believe he brought a bear into the theatre.
I will say that in the hallway during that fight, there were several of you that were drawing your swords to deal with the assassins coming to the box. One of those was Hesperides. I'd like to ask you, how was it again that you pulled open the box? You weren't right next to it. There was something you did that keyed this bear to lunge out of the box and start going after the assassins who were the closest thing to it. Did you do it in a surreptitious way that it could possibly be blamed on something like that, or did you walk over and open the box in front of Hesperides?
The box was the box had a door on the end, and it was just a case of pulling a string to release the mechanism.
Okay.
I think
wasn't there copious amounts of honey involved?
I think the bear was
yeah.
the bear was paralyzed, so the cage was probably already open, or the box was already open. The bear was trapped, and the honey was spread, I think, by your monkey, wasn't it?
That's true.
Woke up the bear, and
Hesperides has compromised himself in some ways too, which may lead to a slightly better report. We'll see how that plays out. What I'd like to do is move us forward sort of into the game. I am going to move us across to the downtime screen. It'll take me just a second because I am going to have to grab this and move things around just slightly. The engagement roll. Is that it? Yes. So I managed to roll you over to downtime. And I will click on the screen so the eye goes away. What I'd like to do is state that this is, we can start as close to, as you guys start doing things, feel free to start them as far back as standing right outside of the theater as everyone's been rushed out. You can see the Corvetto has now got more guards of his own that have come around him, and he's being shuffled off to a gondola. Strangely enough, you see as he's heading towards that gondola, he has kept Cosimo Rossi with him. At this point, you guys tell me what you want to do. We can start with your payoff, if you guys would like, because I think that's worth doing.
Yeah,
it's always fun to start with a little bit of payoff. So let us look at this here. Let's I'm going to jump to some payoff. if I'd been really smart, I probably would have had this marked out well ahead of time.
Did we utilize unorthodox methods? Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, let's do that really quick. Let's run through your character's experience points while I look up some other stuff.
Yeah.
So let's start with you up top, Rob. I'm sorry. Let's talk more about our characters. Mocklin, how did that go?
Yes. Infuriatingly, brilliantly.
Oh.
Bit slow, but we got the desired effect, I think. So for my part, trying to push Hesperides onto the right path of not looking at Pietro, not looking at House Bastion, because things are underfoot. I think now that because of what happened in the box with Old Man Corvetto and with what he heard from Cosimo himself, I think that that's actually helped the team to avoid some suspicion of how the assassin got into the house in the first instance, because I did feel that a small amount of pressure was being put on Mocklin to try and give up Pietro, which was unfair. So I had to employ an unusual way to basically go fishing. And I think it paid off. But we'll still yet to see. But I think now the watch now understands that everything is about politics and nothing is quite as it seems. So they've got to really look at that now. The thing in the box, I felt that because of the fact that I knew that someone was going to make a play, and I thought it was House Laval on Old Man Corvetto, Mocklin was getting slightly agitated by the fact that not a lot was being done as quickly as I thought that it would have done. Although that said, the play itself, I did wholeheartedly think that it was genius. It was really well written. The punchlines were there. I mean, the fact that I was being portrayed, I could just see me being on that stage. It was like looking at my well, maybe not my twin, but in essence, with how I approach things and how I conduct myself, it was definitely a twin-like masterpiece. So yeah, I thought it was absolutely fantastic, and round of applause to Cosimo for writing it, because it was a piece of genius in my mind.
Okay,
Funny
so
as hell.
Let me add two things to that. One, in that portrayal, there was a lot of weird accuracies, like the guy dressed up like a lobster man that you were all beating with sticks, in his big furry suit, and you guys were Punch and Judy style comedy. But that was strangely accurate. However, nowhere in the play did you detect anything that insinuated that you did magic by any other way besides what is normal. See what I'm saying? The other thing is you did state in your powerful tirade towards Cosimo Rossi and your big threat to him before the Corvetto sort of capitulated. You stated that he was behind the murder of Victoria. That may turn into questions from our good man Hesperides. However, that at least plants that line of questioning in his mind. So that's
yeah.
Yep. So yeah, good. So how do we translate that into experience points for you?
I get the whole lot.
On your character sheet. What are your
Yeah,
triggers?
well, I mean, the whole thing is I addressed the challenge with arcane knowledge because I stopped the barrage of blow darts.
Absolutely.
You know, in an awesome display of well, actually, it wasn't an awesome; it was a vulgar display of power.
It was great.
I expressed my beliefs, drives, and heritage and background. Well, I did that in my monologue.
Yep.
Struggled with issues from my indulgences and/or scandals. I'm trying to find the I mean, basically, my faithless scandal kind of kicked in, and it's becoming more apparent, which is why I'm kind of using the blood magic slightly more. Okay, although I'm trying to hide it from people so that they don't know what I'm doing, because of the fact that I'm having serious trust issues. You know, which is deservedly. I mean, my brother, the king, died. His family, my nephews and nieces, all gone. I've been put into a position I never, ever in my wildest dreams expected that I would be in. I expected some of the court intrigues to try and marry me off and things like that to underprivileged individuals who were power seeking. You know, but to be basically at some point the king of a disheveled country that's seeking safe harbor in this place, you know. So of course, my faithless scandal is ratcheting up in scale each session, because it just seems like, you know, apart from Mockling's coterie, he doesn't have faith in the people. He doesn't have. I would even go as far as to say that he's losing faith in his own house.
So actually, faithless is that people consider you not trustworthy, not the other way around. Now, I'm happy to entertain your points. What I'd like to do, though, those of you
but I
who
was still gauche about it, so
would,
you know, because I did throw it in his face.
As Rob is talking, would the rest of you guys pop off and on Discord, please? I'm trying to figure out what I just did, that I now have spinning dots for all of you instead of at least a freeze frame of your faces. And then, so Rob, how many points is that?
How do I do that?
Well, because I didn't have any desperate actions, and I've not had any for a number of weeks, so you need to address that because I'm flagging. No. So basically, I mean, I've got 3 checks. Arcane knowledge and or power. Actually, I've got 4 checks. So I addressed the challenge with arcane knowledge and or power. So I did the darts, and because of what I heard, I had a suspicion, and I used the magic to remove Cosimo's disguise, but only I actually saw through the disguise.
Yep.
Okay. So I've got 2 things there, 2 separate times where I've used my arcane knowledge especially with Cosimo Rossi bit, to basically instigate a line for Pietro to pick up on, and then he conversed with Cosimo and got some information from Cosimo as well.
Okay.
The power comes from the blood magic to stop the darts. So I think that's 2 there from that. Express my beliefs, drives, and heritage and backgrounds, definitely, and struggle with issues from your indulgences or scandals, because although I'm always gauche, the gauche was there.
No, that counts.
Okay,
that's fair enough.
So basically, I think you know, unless you disagree, I think it's the maximum 4 points.
Okay.
Which tips me over the top and onto 1 star.
Yeah, anybody that is willing to talk that much in justification of their points, I'm not going to complain. Well done, Rob. Yeah,
Felix has just got back, so I did just the right timing.
You wore Anthony down.
I'm beat.
Right. Now I'm going to leave Discord and then come back while somebody else is talking. Or have you not finished with me?
No, I'm finished. That's cool. And then, you and Martin are the only ones that still have spinning things. The other people at least have a picture. Okay, Pete, let's talk about your character.
Okay. Yeah. So we've got you addressed a challenge with expertise and/or calculations. That's 2 points. I'm sideways again. Am I sideways for anyone else?
No.
No, you're not even showing for me. That's okay. So expertise, you said. Okay, let's talk about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, we found out that this play was going on. We decided that we were going to wreck the play, but then we did some further investigation and found out that actually there was an awful lot more going on, and it was looking more like an assassination attempt. So we came up with the plot to that Pietro was going to be in disguise.
Yep.
He used his tinker skill to come up with a good disguise for him to stand in for the Corvetto.
All you guys did pick up on all the changes that were happening, and I would say your flexibility as a team was pretty neat. Going from simply trying to sabotage a play that was all about making fun of your team, to instead flexing rapidly to protect the Corvetto from possible assassination attempts, thus cementing your relationship with him against possible problems that are to come ahead. I thought it was well played. Yeah, sure, take those points. And if you have any other points that you're interested in fighting for, that's great.
The next one, you expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't shoot Cosimo in the forehead.
No, you did not. As much as
I really, really wanted to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pietro is not that kind of man.
No, that was well played. No, I'll give you that point. That's no problem.
Then there was you struggle with issues from your indulgences or scandals. I don't think so. So I think I give up on that
indulgences or scandal. What's your indulgence again?
Luxury or paramour, obviously.
Yeah, I concur. I don't think either your paramour or your desire for luxury seem to have impeded you in that particular event.
So 3 points.
Very good. Christine, what about Sasha?
Well, I hate to say it, but I think Sasha completely failed.
What?
She didn't struggle with her indulgences or scandals because they weren't there. There was no gambling going on.
Oh, yeah, well,
there was none of that going on. So she wasn't struggling with gambling. She wasn't struggling with her paramour.
Okay.
So none of that. Beliefs, drives, and heritage and background. Well, she failed to push the assassin off the balcony, which she really wanted to do. And that would have been expressing her heritage and her background.
Yeah.
So she failed in that one as well, I'm afraid. She failed on that account too. I'm just terrible.
Now, wait a second. Did she maybe save a whole bunch of people who would have killed themselves running out because by calming them down?
I think most of them actually just ran past her and ignored her.
Well, no, you mean you saved them from the bear. You didn't have to go for the bear.
You did not have to loop that over there.
Let the bear have them.
Yeah, but then the bear might have choked, and I would have, that would have concerned me. That wouldn't have been good.
Well, there you go. Then you saved the bear.
I am doing my bestest to give you that point.
You saved the bear from eating these dirty people.
Yes. So to keep character progression going well, I think you get that point because you made the effort to try and stem the panic that was going to possibly get people crushed and killed in the exit. Okay.
Yep. Does that also count? You addressed the challenge with pursuit. I pursued the bear.
Yes, you did.
I didn't turn away from the bear. I faced that challenge full on.
Yep, you did. I'm happy with that, Christine. You did. You're a good person.
Did I save the monkey? That's the important thing. Did I save the monkey from the bear?
Oh my word!
And/or observation as well. So there we go.
And/or observation. I observed the bear. I definitely observed the bear.
You saw the bear.
You did some observation.
You did look around. You didn't spend the entire episode with your eyes closed.
No.
So there was definitely some observation. No, I mean, to be fair, I think in the setup you did actually do some checks to find out that there were people observing the theatre and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. You did, so in the lead up, some of the questions that were asked revealed several little things like that. Okay, was there anything else that you're going after, or is this more of a 3 for you?
No, that's fine. That's more than I expected to walk away with. I'm very happy with those 3.
All right, well, let's do that. And for those of you that are running this game, it does character progress relatively slowly compared to Blades in the Dark, where you expect your team to burn out rapidly. It's designed.
One of our team is burning out very rapidly.
yes, he is, in a bloody, fiery fury. But I would suggest as a game master, as you're approaching this game, the idea is not to try and block your characters from these points, is to try and get them to think about their role playing that's involved, that gets them those points, to sort of try and push their boundaries as role players. So give the points out, give them freely, and do your best to encourage players to expand their characters as they're so doing. But that's just my advice and my take on it. As you guys role playing Court of Blades, do it as you please. Okay, so we've done Pietro and Sasha. Let's go to Felix, who is playing Lorenzo il Magnifico.
Well, I think I addressed a challenge with Mayhem.
Yes, you did. Yep. I don't think there's any doubt that loosing a bear into a theater. Now, you did not mean to loose the bear into the theater. However, the very fact that was the way you chose to do that is mayhem as far as I'm concerned. Very good.
I also involved a pet with my act of vengefulness.
Yes, you did.
You involved 2 pets.
Yeah. Did I get 2 points for that?
No. So once again, as I was just
so there's going to be a farm following around.
Yeah, exactly, an experience point farm. So as I was just saying about being liberal about giving away experience points, no one to say no. Okay. Okay, Felix, what else?
Poor Felix.
I can remember there was one point where I lifted my fist up and I said, I do this because I'm an entertainer and I like to entertain people. So I was expressing my beliefs and I'm sorry.
I remember that too.
Yes, you non-entertainers. I'm an entertainer by trade. I will have this. I will have this moment.
No, but so I don't know why I'm trying to help all you guys. Do you remember how you chose to get the bear? What did you do?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I did have to go. I did actually, didn't I? I did go to the circus and
yes. Yeah, exactly. So no, you're not getting the point because of
I had to go and talk to all the other animal behavioral
yes
tamers.
Exactly. You are getting the point. You're just not getting it for your fake I yelled I was an entertainer. You're doing it because you actually did use your contacts in the entertainment and the circuses and the entertainers that you know. So that's a legitimate point. You should
3 points. Yeah.
well done. So we get to our lowest person down the totem pole here on the as far as if looking at our screen of inactive video. Monty.
Monty had an interesting night.
Yeah, he did.
You were just a challenge of stealth. I think he did briefly, and then decided to abandon stealth and go full on.
yeah, he did sneak back into the areas where the actors all were. Yep.
Yeah, he sneaked around the office and had a look around in there for notes, and he was financing this debacle. Perception, yes. I mean, he spotted the suspicious individual at the door.
Yes, he did.
Had an experience.
Big restroom experience.
Tried to set fire to the toilets. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, maybe not one of our finer moments, but it was okay. It was good. Okay. Yeah, you did. There's 2 points. Keep going.
Express your beliefs, drives heritage or background. I mean, we did some initial setup work with the gondola going around the in the prep work, going around the area to see any kind of like guards or background areas. I think we tried to sneak in the pastries as well. Other than that, I'm not sure whether the rest of it really. Yeah, but I think might go for see if that applies. The rest of it, I think, was just kind of like, yeah, I'm winging it.
No, that's fine.
Acting was not I mean, he's good at. Well, he has his disguise, but I don't think acting on stage is his normal habitat.
Yeah,
and certainly not falling into an orchestra pit.
You did a lovely swan dive off the stage.
Yeah, we as good as you guys are at this game, and as much as you tweak all the rolls to the highest extent, it's not often that we have a roll that's not that's really just a flat out failure.
Oh yeah,
So that was actually sort of fun. No, give yourself those 3. You're right.
There were several people on the second floor who were clapping that swan dive. They thought it was beautiful.
I bet they did.
Out keeping with the rest of the
show.
Well done. Okay, well, I mean, give yourself those 3 points. I think your indulgence. What's your indulgence?
Indulgence is gambling as well. Yeah.
So I debated on that for both of you guys that are gamblers, because if I give it to you, you're going to get every time. Because my thought was, you take these ridiculous gambles.
Yeah, but I think his indulgence is all like he likes the game and being in there with the that kind of thing, not so much taking the risks. I mean, I think he feels like the to and fro between Cosimo and he is a little bit like that.
I
think
like you get in a game of poker or something with the bluff and that kind of thing. But yeah, in terms of just taking risks, like going on stage, I wouldn't classify that. I don't put that in the same.
Fair enough.
In the same thing, yeah.
I feel more comfortable with that.
I would have for you. I mean, I don't think Sasha gambled anything. She was okay. So she came face to face with a bear, but that's just run of the mill to her, for
Absolutely.
the way she did things. Whereas you getting up on that stage and basically taking a part, inviting yourself into that, I think that was quite a gamble. I think that was quite a stretch from the norm of what your character would feel comfortable doing.
Although the main reason he got on stage was because he wanted to drop the false name in to try and point some blame at Cosimo as well, but that was kind of his main reason for it, rather than either I've got to get that name out there. Rather that was kind of his main driving force behind it.
Okay.
And try and tweak the narrative at whatever risk. But let's say there was a gamble in there. Yeah, and so I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think there was a gamble in there for your character. That was not something that was run of the mill normal.
It was certainly it was certainly put him in a lot of jeopardy.
No, it's, you know,
Yeah.
she gets weird and wonderful in her role as a bounty, and she gets thrown into weird and wonderful situations like that of risk like that. But your character does not get thrown into situations of entertaining and
yeah, he's painted a bit of a target on his back now, which is certainly interesting. I don't know. I mean, if you want to give it, I'm happy to take it.
Okay, so here's my thought. I don't want to OP and overpower one of the faults. However, I don't have a problem with you taking that extra point. I'd like you to go ahead and take that point, with the understanding that I may not be as generous next time. You just don't know.
Do you feel? If it's like, do you take 3 I can distribute as well, and say, is that 4th one got to go in a specific?
No, it doesn't have to go in a specific.
I mean, if it's like a condition of taking it, is it like, would it go into like spirit because of consort sway, that kind of thing, rather than put it anywhere?
See. Okay, so you tell me, where do you think that would fit well?
I think it would probably go into consort as a kind of.
Okay, I'm happy with that.
Well, the spirit experience bar anyway.
Okay. So with that, we now have distributed our experience points. So as far as the payoff, and you guys are freaking loaded with influence. I mean, I'm almost embarrassed to give you anything. Let's see here. So you earn 2 influence by default. If the target of the errand is of a higher tier, you get +1. Yep, they are. So you got +1. There's 3.
Do we suffer any consequences for having too much influence?
No. It just dies off if you can't have a place to put it. So, use it as best you can. I know we run out of time sometimes in this game as you're trying to burn through it, but let's see what we can do. If you keep the errand completely quiet so that no one outside of your house is aware of it, take +1 influence. I'm not going to give that to you. Yeah. And then you're going to get influence based upon the. Oh gosh. I think it falls in
the Corvetto. Hopefully, will.
Yeah. So my thought is it falls in. Ooh, oh no, that. So 6 influence is a ruinous secret, found or hidden. And I think to some extent the effort that you did with I mean, you guys could have just shot Cosimo. You also found out the attack that could have been ruinous if the Corvetto was killed. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you 5. I don't think it's quite a 6, but it's above a 4, which is just covering a significant social gaffe or exposing a rival's shame. So I'm going to give you 5. This is the coterie. Okay.
Well, the coterie's already got 4 influence. It's already full.
So you guys can. What I will say is you can mark that on the side. It just is a written thing that will go away by next game.
So that's coterie influence. We can't share it out as personal influence like we've done before.
I think you can. Divvy up the influence your coterie has earned amongst yourselves, marking them in your individual playbook sheets.
So, I mean, I want to make me full, so
I'm already full.
Anyone else low on influence?
I've got 2
Can you guys bank any of that? Remember, you can bank that stuff. for.
I've got 2 gaps as well, so.
Yeah, you. What about you, Felix?
What did you say? I haven't got any spare in slots.
Oh well, there we go. So 2 for Rob,
Felix takes 2.
2 for Martin, 1 for me, and that I think that's it. That's
Everyone's
5,
mad.
and we're all on match basically. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So as far as favor, I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you 1 favor with House Corvetto, and I think you guys are filling that up in a hurry.
Got 3 there already. Yeah.
So is that full?
House Corvetto. Yeah. No, we have 3 now. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, 3 now. Right. Okay.
Okay. I'm not gonna throw anything else out there. I am going to say you have 4 exposure for loud, chaotic. If anything's associated as far as bears and lions and tigers.
And one less on that because of our watch.
Yes. So 3 total.
3. So that puts us up to 6, I think.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And that
Can
will
we use to spring it out?
We can, yeah.
Yes, you can use some of your downtimes for that. So hopefully, do you have any levels of shame?
No.
Okay.
No.
Good, because that would hurt.
Which is surprising.
Yeah. Okay.
Getting poor bears high on honey.
Goodness gracious. Let me see here. I need to find.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay. So with that, let's go to your coterie and take a look at the experience points on that.
Yep.
I think we recently cleared that, didn't we? Because we used it on a
Yeah, we just
new
bought a
thing.
new one. So we've
We
got 1
did.
point
We've got 1 point
so far. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I hadn't updated that, so I'll just reset.
Yeah.
I think we overcame an obstacle with unorthodoxy. I mean, that bear.
Oh, that's so unorthodox.
Cracking.
And jumping on the stage from
Yeah, jumping on the stage by someone who normally wouldn't do such a thing.
Trying to land headfirst in a tuba.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's face it, you just had the horn for the wind instruments, didn't you?
Nice.
Yeah. I think we definitely.
So I think, is that okay? Yeah. First
Okay.
one.
Mm-hmm.
Second one, with a challenge above your current station. Well.
Yeah, I mean, we were protecting Corvetto.
Yeah.
Above our station. You bolstered your reputation or developed a new one.
No, I think we definitely bolstered our reputation.
Okay.
With the
Corvetto, we did.
Okay.
Yeah, with the Corvetto we did. Yeah.
Very good.
Okay.
And you expressed the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the coterie. Well, I think Mockelin's diatribe, his big speech, I think definitely expressed our.
I liked that speech. That was mighty fine.
Yeah, that was good.
Took me 3 weeks to write that, I'll have you know.
Yeah. And so we have an additional trigger.
We do.
Did we for the little guy?
Well, Corvetto's not a little guy.
Well, we'd help try and keep the patrons.
Oh yeah, we did look after the little people when we saved the bear. We saved them for the bear.
Saved them for the bear. Yeah,
you did.
We did. We looked after the little people.
Yes, you did.
So 5 points.
So 5.
That's good.
Woohoo!
That's huge.
Up to 6. Yeah. Coterie XP. Lovely.
Very, very good, guys. All right. So now we are at the fun time where we start going through some of our downtime activities. What I'm going to do first to just cause problems is we're going to go ahead and your shame level is still 0, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
So I need somebody to roll a D6.
Oh, backsy me. You know I roll good dice.
Get on it.
D6.
Hang on, is it 1 to 3 being we're going to get Shaman?
Look at
4
that.
to 6, we're not.
Okay.
No, it was Sasha bags
And
it.
the thing is
called
now
it
we need a second roll of a d6.
Oh,
So
that
let's
should
see
be
the
something
second
else.
one.
Oh, me again, me again. Woohoo! Me again.
Get on it.
Yeah.
Oh.
There we go. 4.
4. Rivals.
5 and 4.
A representative of one of the house's minor declares a public rivalry with the coterie or someone within it.
Oh.
Throw him off the roof.
Ooh,
Run
okay.
off the roof.
So I will say that the prince heir of House Bjorn
Not them again.
has decided that, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Roll me a d6, Martin.
Oh no.
If you roll a 6, it's going to be nobody. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Felix. So Lorenzo, the prince of House Bjorn has called you out as a liar, a thief, and someone who deserves death. He has demanded that you apologize to his house for your folly and the error of your ways, or to go to a duel.
For what reason?
You don't know. I mean, it could just be he just wants to try and skewer you, and this is his way of doing so.
What reason does he give?
That's all used up, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I mean, he just says that you're a liar, and you have slandered the name of his family.
So I can't?
You stole his pet bear.
Am I bothered?
You can ignore it at risk of reputational damage.
I can apologize for thinking good of him in the past. I was obviously wrong. I agree with him.
Okay, you can do that. You might be able to diffuse that situation. Let us take this to a brief moment of roleplay. So, where do you guys choose to have this discussion, and who is there on your side?
No, I'm not choosing anything. Has he found me or what?
No, you've been delivered that missive. Okay, so you just yep.
So I'll just write back and say, I'm an entertainer. Nothing I say should be taken literally. And then just ignore it.
Okay. Very good. I will run with that. Thank you.
Okay.
That is the penalty for you guys' exposure. Let's go into your downtime activities. Who wants to go first with their first one?
Come on. With Moon out the picture, I go and tap Ruby and see if she wants to go to a show. And if she says no, I go to one anyway.
So, I think when we left
I heard
last,
there's a decent comedy play that's doing the last night tonight, so I might go and watch that again.
There's bears and everything. Brown falls off the stage into the orchestra pit. It's brilliant.
If you remember, the last time we left you and her, you had let her know something that was very disconcerting.
Yeah.
And
as I said, if she doesn't want to go, I'll still go into it anyway.
Okay. So Is she back at her place of work, do you think?
Don't know. Let's go and find out. Is she at a place of work?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Okay, so yeah, she's at a place of work.
Okay. So you want to swing by, and what are you going to say?
Yeah, I'll swing by. I'll ask her if there's a table available. Get something to eat. What time do you finish work? Do you fancy going to, I don't know, strip club? There's a decent play. I watched 3/4 of it last night. So do you want to go and watch the full Monty, so to speak?
So she's serving your table as you're asking these things, and she says, "Are you still marrying that woman?"
Not if Sasha has anything to say about it.
She wants to know.
No, I think Sasha has worked away to get me out of my obligations. I also think that, and I quieten my voice, House Corvetto may have a solution to also get me out of that particular situation, but it will take time.
So, does that mean that you're going to have to run the race of stags for your family?
I was going to run it anyway.
Just know, I may throw a net. Might not be at you. She gives you a coquettish look and heads back into the kitchen. She comes out a little bit later with your meal, and she hip bumps you to sit down next to you and eat some of the better pieces of meat out of the stew. And says,
"Yeah,
I'm up for it. Let's go to the theater." Okay, go ahead and make your roll for your de-stressing.
Okay, so if I'm correct, because my character XP has basically gone up max, I can either take on a special ability or I can increase a skill. Is that correct?
Yes, you can have special ability or you can increase skill. Yep.
Right. Okay. Not the body, not the mind, not the spirit diamond things, but the actual skill. Yeah. Right. Okay. So, I've been kind of like doing some bits and pieces to try and get my maneuver up, and that's what I put it in. So now, for de-stressing, I now roll 2d6 because 2 is my lowest.
Okay, I'll let you do that. Go for it.
Okay. So
do you get to pick which one?
Pick which one? I'll take the 3.
Okay, go for it.
So what do I get? 3 stress off?
Yes, you do.
Okay, in that case, can I spend an influence and make a giggle and what have you whilst we're actually at the theatre?
Nope, but you can spend an extra influence for another action. Would you like to do that right now?
Okay. Yeah, I would like to do something to remove my stress.
So go ahead and burn that extra influence, and you can make another stress roll during this de-stressing event.
Okay. I'll take the 4, which leaves me with 1 stress.
Very good. That was a good use of that.
Yep. And that's me. That's me done.
All right.
I've got a big smile on my face because A, she's gone to the theatre with me. B, she's going to throw a net.
Yep.
Etc. Etc. But I do explain that, you know, if things do take longer than the race of stags, I won't be able to participate in a catchable capacity. But still, throw a net and see if it lands on me, because of course it will do. I'll
Well
make sure
done.
of it.
Cool. Nope. You romance and do the whole thing. Let us move on to Pietro.
Yay!
Yeah. So I'm going to do some training.
Okay.
Pietro's basically just going to spend some time in the library studying. That's it. First action.
Okay. Very good. So that's going into which of your areas?
Mind under study, basically. XP.
Brilliant. Is there anything in particular you're trying to study?
History of the Necropolitan Hill, and particular the legends and lore about the the last of the dead one. I can't remember what it is. The one
yes.
the one that they're trying to raise.
It's not a Death Eater because that gets just made fun of. The Deathless. Yes.
Yeah.
So legends. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'll give this. I mean, you're spinning the point for it. Rumor is that the entire hill is nothing but a barrow for this last of the Deathless. These sorcerers who helped the old emperor fight against the uprising of all the people and the republics that developed. The hill may well have been built purposely to contain a creature that no one could understand how to completely kill.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm done.
Okay. Sasha?
So I am thinking that I am going to try and clear a bit of stress. I haven't seen my paramour for quite some time, so
Absolutely.
that would be rather nice to spend a bit of time with Jorah.
I need to pull something up really quick. Because I had something written down that I was thinking about.
That's what she said.
Let's come here. Here we go. So, I think I may have mentioned this before, but I'm going to mention it again. Jorah's got a little trepidation going on in that he specifically has been requested to lead a team of cadets and Marines on a mission completely funded by one of the great families to confront what they think is a sea monster plaguing some of the trading ships and trading routes. The house who is funding this is House Almari.
Okay.
They ship out shortly. The other thing that he is concerned about is because of his position as one of the lead cadets, and because of requests from certain houses that he does not know which house it is, he has been one of 3, maybe 4 cadets voluntold to race the race of antlers. He lets you know that in general, cadets don't get caught because there's not really a great bounty upon them. Because really, what was a farcical way of women showing their interest in young gentlemen by throwing small nets at them has turned into a buyback because you're forced to go into it, and it turns into a political thing where people are trying to capture certain people in order to extort their family to release them from the bonds and things like that. Go figure, that would happen in this town. But he assures you that there's nobody that would be interested in throwing a net at him. Because, come on, he's just a captain in the cadets, pending a chance to become an actual officer. He comes from a minor family. No one's going to be messing with him. Of course.
Oh.
And the GM chuckles evilly.
Oh.
Thoughts?
Well, I guess I ought to make sure I buy you a really good pair of running shoes.
Very good. Is there anything else you wish to let be known to all of those watching about your time with young Jorah? Where are you going? What are you doing? You sort of sought him out because he's never sure when you're going to be available. Where do you take him? What do you guys do that's a de-stressor?
I think he needs a bit of relaxation before he's off on this sea monster quest.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a bit of rest and relaxation is called for. So okay. I think it's just going to be just a nice, quiet meal out at a restaurant, bit of a drink. Maybe I'll take us somewhere else from there. But,
Absolutely.
It's just going to be a peaceful, calm afternoon. Maybe wandering through.
So afternoon, not evening?
Afternoon, possibly going into the evening.
Okay. Absolutely. And meals at some of the restaurants that you tend to frequent do run afternoon into evening or evening into early morning. Is this the one that Ruby works at, or is this just a different one?
I think just one in general doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
No particular.
So yeah. No particular.
Okay. Very good. Roll those bones. Let's see what you de-stress. And what I'm going to do for myself as a GM is the de-stressing you do for you, I'm going to apply to some luck rolls that I make later on your young gentleman as he is going out to sea, because you are helping him too.
Uh-huh.
Fair enough.
Luck roll, D6.
Oh no, she's making her roll to figure out her. Yep, de-stressing.
For you, 1d6.
So, your lowest characteristic.
Spirit roll, basically.
Yep.
Spirit roll. So I just roll spirit.
Yeah.
Did that roll?
Should do.
Come
Here's
on.
my spirit roll. Come on.
Oh, it almost rolled over to that 6. Well, we'll say with this, and once again, as you saw Mocklin do, he burned some stress to just sort of extend his period of de-stressing. You may do so if you wish for another roll. As it is,
sorry,
as you come sort of
what?
towards the end of this dinner, the conversation keeps circling back to some of the things that are terrifying.
Sorry, say that again. What?
Okay,
What's
it got
that?
really quiet. Maybe because I rolled over this. Here we go. Go ahead.
So can you say that again?
So as you get towards the end of this meal, sadly the conversation circles back to the old monster hunting thing, and you can see him getting stressed again. Which stresses you a little bit because the last time you were on a ship that the Amaris paid for, it was a setup and it was in really bad shape. So you don't get the stress relief you had hoped for. However, if you choose to burn a influence, you can just go ahead and consider this a second event, much as Mocklin did, and roll one more die.
Yeah, I will do that.
Okay, burn that. Yep.
One more spirit dice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. This is going to be bad. Yeah, I told you it was going to be bad.
Oh, did you overindulge?
Might have done.
How much did you overindulge?
Yeah. 2 points.
2 points of overindulgence.
I get 2 off. Then I roll a 6.
I like the one that says lost. Your character vanishes for a few weeks. Play a different character until this one comes back from the benders for your obligation.
Can you spend influence to remove?
Let's see here. 140. Sorry, I have to look this up because we haven't had this yet. Well, actually, we may have had once.
Yeah, with me, I think.
This would happen.
I seem to remember a certain what was he? What was he called? Voldemort? No, what was he called? Some nice. Yeah.
That's quite a long. That was quite a while ago, wasn't it? We had that.
Yeah.
Okay, you need to select an overindulgence complication.
Mm-hmm.
1, attract trouble, which will be another roll on the entanglements that we just rolled earlier. 2, brag about your exploits, which will pump your exposure up by 2. 3,
I like this one.
lost. Your character vanishes for a few weeks. Play a different character until this one returns from their bender, spree, or obligation. And, you could play that out as you took off on that whole monster quest with him instead of tapped. Your current source becomes unavailable. You'll have to fix things before you can indulge again. Well,
he's going off on the quest,
he
so
is, but it doesn't say the fixed portion. So something's broken on that. So, and we'll figure that out if you choose that.
So I need to roll, do I? For this?
No, you choose
Random.
a favor.
Oh,
you lose a downtime action.
Oh, what? Sorry. Instead of just lose a downtime action.
You lose a downtime action.
Yeah.
To help someone, or cannot indulge again until you have done so.
Oh well, I'd do that. Just lose a downtime action.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you've got so much money to spend, you might as well lose that downtime action.
Spend a favor for an extra downtime action, and that's to give someone a
You lose a downtime action to help someone, or cannot indulge again until you. So I think there is a extra penalty there about helping someone, and I'm not completely figuring it out. But that's fine. Let's do that. So basically, you just burned an influence, and that's not a terrible thing.
Does it just mean that one downtime action essentially is locked into helping somebody else?
Maybe.
How I'm looking at it.
You know what? I like that. So as we go through the other actions, look for ones that you could jump in on. Okay, for a help. And when you do that, you have burned that downtime activity. So when we come back to asking for another downtime activity, you'll have to spend an influence instead. Okay, so the penalty's still there, but you're needing to, that downtime action that's lost is lost because you're helping someone else, and we'll have to figure out what that is. I think that's a good interpretation, Monty. Excuse me, Martin, on how that's read. Okay. We've done Pietro. We're down to Lorenzo.
Yep.
What you doing?
I'm gonna indulge to burn some stress off.
Okay. Amazing. This is a trend. What are you going to indulge?
So I'm going to take Isabella.
Who are you?
Yeah, and then we're going to go to some mixed bar steam rooms in some spring.
Okay, I see. Yeah. I see. Let's do this. You are. Go ahead.
Carry on.
I'm sorry. Did I mess up your what you were trying to say?
Okay. No, carry on.
Okay. You're standing outside of the main door of House Lavelle. There is a a footman standing at the door as you walk up. May I help you, sir?
And there's to see Isabella. She's expecting me.
Did you send a missive earlier?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll move you to the waiting room. You remember this room from earlier, some of the things that have happened. And he says, follow me through the door. The guard sort of looks at you as you go by. And you are, hey, Rob, or whoever's watching on Twitch, can you see if we're actually doing anything? Because everything has died.
Yeah, you're doing nothing.
Discord.
Yeah,
Is there any?
Nobody's there.
Is there any
Audio's
sound
coming through? I think.
That's amazing.
Hang on a second. Let me just double check.
Yep. Test. Yep. Crazy.
Yeah, you're coming through.
Yeah, I figure everybody's coming through audio-wise, but for some reason...
We're coming through. So, audio's fine, it's just picture.
Just the video has died on us like crazy.
Yeah.
Those of you who are not in the center of the action right now, if you don't mind popping in and out of Discord, it at least gives us a pretty picture of your faces. Try not to make stupid faces when you pop back on, because it'll be stuck there. Okay. So, Felix, Lorenzo, you were escorted into that side antechamber that you remember from before, and down the stairs she comes. And she is dressed in a mauve dress that it doesn't have the hoops and all the extras that sometimes are worn. It's more form-fitted until it flares out at the lower leg. But there are... Go ahead.
She's not going to be wearing that on.
So she comes down and she takes your hand. So, you have a surprise for me?
Yes, the monkey's going to be feeding you peeled grapes whilst we sit in the steam room and chat about old times.
Steam room? Are you trying to get me naked?
I'd be more worried about the peeled grapes from the monkey.
You seemed quite excited when I suggested we go earlier.
Ha. Very well. Let us see what you bring to the table, so to speak.
A couple of small grapes.
She laughs in a rich, throaty voice. She says, "Come on," and hooks her arm into yours. You head out. It's actually the few steam rooms that are available tend to be in a lesser. I mean, the backside of the Rose, where it goes down, not quite to the Groan, but in that area there's a little bit of a hot spring. And so there you find yourself, just on the other side of the bridge, from main bridge from the Groan into the Rose. There's a hot spring establishment, and there's single sex, there's mixed, there's private rooms, there's multiple ways that they've set this up. But the more expensive is towards the bottom, where it's hotter. There are multiple floors, and it tends to cool off a little bit as it goes up. They also, at great expense, have a snow room, which people scrub themselves off with crushed ice made by a local knack who does nothing but, because that seems to be his only ability.
Must be one of Rob's relatives.
Okay, so you are in your room and sitting there with the sweating monkey and your grapes that are rapidly getting warm. She says, "What?"
The grapes are in the snow room, and the monkey is going in between to pick them up.
Ooh, that's fancy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're bringing into the hot room. The monkey is bringing chilled grapes.
Yeah, and limoncello.
Ah, very nice. I will say that the monkey seems to be taking about a grape for every one he gives you guys.
It's fine, as long as he leaves the limoncello alone.
So far, so good. Very good. Go ahead and make your roll, and we'll discuss some of the other things that may come out of this.
Wait a sec. Have I just rolled it? No, that's not me.
So, wow.
Ah.
You may not only take those 6, you may ask her a question.
Right.
That when I say that, go ahead.
When you say take those 6,
that's take off your stress.
Okay, what if I have 5?
Then you don't get an extra question. Instead, I ask you.
Can I not spend some influence to stop this, or?
Nope. Do you want to attract trouble?
I get rid of the 5 anyway, don't I?
Do you want? Okay. Do you want to do that losing the downtime action, like we've done before? So you need to find someone before your next time to try and help during their downtime. And then you'll need to spend an influence for your following downtime instead of getting it for free. Is that fair?
So I don't understand that. What happens?
So basically, because you overindulged, you lose your next downtime activity. And
Okay,
that
fine.
downtime activity has to be spent helping someone else.
That's fine.
Okay.
But,
And then
you can spend influence to get another one, can't you?
another what? Yes, yes, another downtime activity. Yes, you may. Okay.
So do I get rid of the stress?
Do you get what of what?
Do I get rid of the stress?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
And what was the thing you said I can ask something?
No. I'm not giving you a free question that could have been very interesting because she is the position she's in. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'd like to ask everybody to, I'm going to put us on downtime for a second for everybody to go recharge drinks, hit the restroom, and if you don't mind, let's do a restart on Discord and see if we can possibly get that stupid thing to function. Thank you. All right, I'm putting us on to break. Everybody go recharge your drinks, hit the restroom, and restart Discord. All right, we're back, and I am trying to re-add our video. Anyone who's watching, actually, I'm going to have to add this source because it may not have given us anything.
Yeah, you got no video.
There, yeah,
There it is.
It's the same thing. So we've got some of the same problems, and it's been an all-night pain. So
what do you think it is? Streaming service or?
I don't know because sometimes we have such a successful session, and then sometimes it's just this bad. So we'll just go ahead and continue and go from there. So we have gone through everyone except for Monty for his last or for his first activity for his downtime. What are you doing, Monty?
Monty is following the events of the theatre. Monty is going to wait until the next day and locate Hesperides for a conversation.
Oh, okay. And what activity is this?
This is possibly acquire assets, or maybe a long-term project.
Okay. Talk to me about what you're trying to do, and maybe that'll help us decide.
Yeah. He locates Hesperides, and I don't know whether to have it at his. Does he have an office that he works out of? Or?
Yes, absolutely. It's over in what was I thinking? It's in the White Road area.
Okay.
He
Yeah,
has an office. Okay.
Monty will go over and try and find him there.
This is not a hard thing for you. You locate them. I mean, your house has been responsible for taking care of the watch.
Yep,
So you guys know where everybody is and what everybody's doing. Okay.
And he wants to, try and find a private room for them to have a discussion in.
So Hesperides says, just swing the door shut. Let's talk.
It was an interesting evening last night, Hesperides. What did you make of it?
Hesperides' desk is, for as meticulous as you've seen him and everything, is surprisingly messy. Numerous sheets of paper that are stacked, not quite haphazardly. He's sort of put them into different little folders, and there's markings on lots of them. There's a chalkboard on one wall that he has been diagramming out, and he's using single letters for different things. You notice that there is a diamond with a P in the middle of it that seems to have a web of lines going out from it to different players, different shapes that have single letters or two letters in them. And you see that there is a new symbol. Well, I can't say new because you wouldn't know that, but there is a symbol off to the side that has no connections yet, and it's got a big C in it.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sure you can draw some inferences.
Yeah.
He says,
Which is in the intelligence business.
Yeah.
Yes, it was an interesting play last night, wasn't it, Hesperides? What did you think? Experimental theatre, your thing?
I was dismayed at the callousness of those that would put the general public at risk for possibly very little political gain. Personally, that galls me. The bear thing.
Well, I mean, there was a. Oh yes, there was a bear, wasn't there? I didn't see much of that. I was downstairs most of the evening.
There was a bear seriously brought into a theater with hundreds of people. A wild, angry bear, unrestrained. And if I didn't know better, because of course you would not be involved in this as a group, there may have been a I don't know. I can't say. I'm not looking into this. It's not a murder. I don't care. Someone else will look into it.
From what I hear from the rest of the group, it was nearly a murder.
Believe me, I'd like to look into it, but I don't have time for that crap.
Yeah. Well, I would like you to, while you are here, I would like you to look me in the eye, and you say you're after the truth.
Yes.
I want you to look me in the eye and tell me that is all you're after, the truth, and you're not. You are not the puppet of someone. You're not someone else is not pulling your strings to get what they want. I'm looking straight at him.
When you seek the truth and nothing else, you don't seem to be questioned. But the moment you throw your lot in slightly, you try and take advantage, then suddenly everything is suspected. Ha! Once you compromise, he just shakes his head. He says, "Look, would you have asked me this question before I took a job providing security with you?"
I wasn't aware that you had taken a job.
Communication amongst your team may be not as tight as I had thought. He goes over.
Well, it's been busy. It's been a few days. I've been investigating some of the things of my own, which is the reason I've come to you today, actually. But I wanted to make sure that you are. I wanted to make sure that that you are genuinely interested in finding and seeking the truth of a matter.
If you will take me at my word, that is what I say.
Can I tell? And I can tell if someone's lying. Is he lying to me, or is he being honest?
He's being honest.
He's being honest. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad that you feel that way. Basically, I would like your help.
Oh, how may I help you?
I believe somebody has been kidnapped.
Really? Okay.
Someone that is dear to me. Someone that is dear to me has been. I believe she is being held against her will.
He pulls out the little notebook from his pocket. By her brother, you say? So, female.
Yes, she is. And I think some of the names in this will not be a surprise to you.
Very good. He walks over towards the chalkboard. He also has his notebook out. Says the name of this lady.
Andrea. I wrote it down. What's her surname?
Fair enough. Yeah, we'll figure that out. But so he there is a
Andrea Decora. Her brother has now recently become involved with House Lavelle and Moon.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
He draws some lines in on his diagram on the whiteboard and stares at it for a while.
I believe I did try and get information from. I went to the house to visit her, and our friend Cosimo decided he was going to be blusterful and yes, not reveal where they've gone. So wherever they've gone to ground is apparently where she's being held.
Really?
Along with the former matron of the orphanage, and possibly, based on what Mocklin mentioned, possibly Mr. Corvetto's wife.
Really? There has been no report of her missing.
Well, possibly. I imagine it's not something he would like to be made the public aware of. I would imagine. I imagine he does not want there to be an embarrassment, or
I see.
it possibly makes him look weak.
Let's jump back really quick to what are you trying to get out of this for your downtime?
I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to work out. I'm trying to either uncover a new clock, or have him assist me with my other existing clock to find out where Andrea is.
Okay. So he says that I know this sounds a little weird, but I'd like a roll of some sort. Yeah. And what we'll do with this roll is pending it being a pretty good one, we'll add some points to that clock that you got for trying to find Andrea.
Yeah.
And you'll have some help. I'm not sure what you're saying was the case, Rob. I'm sorry.
Hesperides knows that the Corvetto's wife has been kidnapped because he was there.
Yeah. But he also was saying that it wasn't reported.
True. He will. Yes. Very true. Yeah. I'll roll. I'll have a sway roll. Any particular parameters for this?
I'd say that I'm. It's risky in that you are trying to maneuver him into the help, and detection of that maneuvering is negative. But you're going to have a standard effect. So risky standard.
It is a genuine request for help.
So risky standard. Let's see what happens.
I don't think I get any bonus. I'll spend 2 stress to get a bonus die.
Oh, very interesting.
Then at least if I roll a 6, I'm not going to overindulge.
That's the way to look at it.
At the moment, I'm on 5.
Very good. Let's see what happens here. This will be interesting.
2 4s.
2 4s. All right. So what I want to do, what's your clock look like for finding where Andrea is located?
I've got 2 pieces out of 4.
I have 2 out of 4. I'm going to give you one more piece, and then what I'm going to say is there's a knock at the door. Hesperides stands and walks over to the door and opens it. Just a crack. Says, "May I help you?" I think, if I'm right, I'm hearing a female voice that's low and a bit husky. Hesperides. He does a short bow. He says, "How may I help you, Nefera?" You can't see her from your vantage point, but you did hear the name Nefera, Nefera, Nefera. He says, she says, "Any luck?" Nefera, he says, we have multiple real things to worry about. You can hear almost a hiss as she's angered by what he said. He says, "We've got murders. We've got endangerment to the public. I can't be looking for magical creatures coming from the canals. It's not us. That falls completely within your jurisdiction." "Who do you have inside?" He stiffens at that and says, "This is my own interview. I do not choose to indulge that information, if you pardon me, ma'am. Okay, Monty?
Monty's very torn between, opening the door and or interjecting and offering assistance, but he thinks at the moment that will probably not endear him to Hesperides.
Fair enough.
So he will hold his tongue for the moment.
The coterie, the one you're looking into the murder. Tell me you found something about the creature. I've gotten a hold of its corpse. Hesperides says, what? We've got it. It's a monstrous creature, like a lobster, but 6+ feet tall, if it had been standing. It had been disposed of out of that apartment. You know the apartment. You know the coterie. He says,
twitching in the corner.
Yeah. He says, you know that we, the Mercies, have little love for those that consort with that type of thing. We will be keeping an eye on you, your investigation, and that coterie. He says, well, okay, please feel free. And you hear steps going away down the hall. He shuts the door back.
Problems?
Well, it would appear that your coterie is now on the radar of the Mercies. He doesn't say radar. He says on the agenda of the Mercies.
I mean, one of the things I heard the words, kind of sea creature and canals. I mean, I had one of them explode in my face. I would like to get to I want to find out where they're coming from as well. I don't like them. They should not be. They whatever that is should not be in our canals, endangering the lives of the citizenry. I am more than happy to look into this and try and get to the bottom of it.
My only advice to you then is, because it will happen sooner rather than later, the questions that will come from the Mercies will be with the predetermined thought that simply because you may have been seen in the presence of these things more than once, that there's a connection.
Well, there is a connection. The first lot were going after Iberican citizens.
So
I am also Iberican, and we were trying to help prevent any more civilian deaths.
He says, I'm not going to write that down. Listen, when asked, I would possibly minimize the fact that your coterie has connections. The last thing is you need to be hauled in for questioning.
They can ask me any questions they want. We're not responsible for those things.
Their questioning tends to be the type that leads to the answers they want.
They're not interested in the truth, just their own version of the truth.
They think they're getting the truth, but they don't. So you guys do understand that the Mercies are the militant extension of the Lady's followers. The Mercies operate with a singular purpose of cleansing the world of evil. Mercies ostensibly fall under the umbrella of the graces of the temple, though their charter explicitly names them as a separate organization altogether. They are...
Inquisition.
Yeah, think Inquisition a bit. So the thing to worry about with these guys is they do have access and authorities that are broad-reaching.
Mm.
They're insular and mistrusted by the greater majority of the city. However, the mercies themselves are what happens when the Graces decide to do something more than pray when magic goes awry. They keep their supernatural edges secret and their operations away from the prying eyes of the city. You know, Mocklin, that they have a particular. You may have heard this from Owen, one of the last times you chatted with him, but they have a particular version of blood magic.
Mhm. Why? It's so nice.
What could possibly go
What could
wrong?
You love.
It's better than dodgy seafood. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Monty's never eaten seafood again.
So let us add the Mercies down as a group interested in what you guys are up to, and maybe watching and maybe prying.
Yeah.
Okay. Next. I think we're back up to Mocklin for his second.
I was going to see if
Yes.
I want to see if Hesperides has agreed to assist or not yet. Is that undetermined at this point?
As far as searching, he says this is not truly my department, but I will. I'll put a couple of men on it.
I came to you because there's an element of trust there, and you are somebody known to us, and I feel you are more trustworthy than most.
For an element of trust, the questions seem to imply a bit of worry. Though I understand. We will begin investigating her disappearance. Do you want us doing questioning amongst the commons? Do you want people going door to door and asking? Or is this a more delicate matter?
I think the way that what has happened is they have been secreted away to a place where no one is going to. No, the guard did not see them leave, so I think they have been spirited away to an unknown location. And I imagine this is probably a closely guarded secret within House Lavelle.
House Lavelle.
Yes.
Do you think it would be wise to haul in any of House Lavelle for questioning?
I think I would imagine only senior people involved with House Lavelle would probably have notice, and Cosimo himself took it upon himself to rebuff any questions last time when I went to visit. So I imagine he himself would take an interest in any questions, and we both know how dangerous that individual is. He also has a personal displeasure for me, so
the writ of the watch is large, and
I would not like to put the people at risk. Is what I would like to say. I'd like to keep it to a limited number of people, so that if there is any vengeance or comeback, it's limited to.
I will attempt a interview with this Cosimo Rossi, or Cosimo de Lavelle, as he calls himself. We do have very good descriptions of a prior identity of this Cosimo Rossi as a supposed actor, seen often in company of Pietro.
Well, Pietro does love the theatre.
You can see he's glancing across at his board where he's got that C that's probably Cosimo all out by itself, away from this web of connections around the thing that says that's a P. And you can almost see him wishing to draw a line. But you're in the room. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, if you can say if you need any information from me, let me know where to find us, and I will pass anything on. I'll continue my investigations and pass anything on if I find anything appropriate for you.
Very good. All right, we're going to kick on, knowing that our time is getting short. So we'll jump back up to Mocklin.
Yeah.
Next downtime activity, young man?
What would you like me to do? Don't really do anything.
You can always train.
So I am going to. I'm going to train.
Excellent. In what?
I'm going to train in spirit.
Okay. How do you do that with Owen gone?
So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to refine my scrying.
Ah, okay.
So something that I already know, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab hold of Monty and ask for something of his lady friend.
Nice. Okay.
Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that object or object, whatever, to Hesperides, because he's not with me, so he must be working. And I'm going to ask Hesperides if he would mind trying to find the location of the young lady, because it's distressing me that that she's been away from Monty far too long, and I can see the duress that it's taken upon Monty, not knowing that Monty's been to see Hesperides. So whilst I'm there, I'm going to explain that I have a unique talent to be able to see where people are, and I'm going to perform the scrying in front of Hesperides.
Okay.
And I'm going to take the extra stress so that I can speak to her and ask if she knows where she is.
Let's do this. So, what I'd like you to do is make a roll for the successful scrying in front of Hesperides. You're going to get the point for training no matter what, but we're going to do something with this scrying.
I give you a little brass gondola that she gave me, a paperweight.
Very
the
good.
Item.
Okay. Right, so basically for the scrying, I spend 1 stress to remotely view a distant place or person tied to you in an intimate way. I spend 1 stress for each extra feature. You see what happened in the past. Your target can also see and hear you. You may use something connected to the target as a focus rather than an intimate tie. So basically, I spend 1 stress and to do the scrying. And then I spend a 2nd stress so that they can see and hear me.
Okay, so this is usually done with a bowl of some form of liquid, which ink or some other heavier medium is poured within to form images.
Okay, so what I'll do then is I'll roll the channel. Okay, depending on what, and I'll take a bowl of liquid and what have you. I know that it's pointless, but I can't just rock up to Hesperides and goes, "Hey, okay, I'm in communication with this abducted woman who's being held against her will, who's betrothed to Mocklin. Sorry, Monty, to Monty." And I would really like it if you can help with other departments to get this woman back. Okay, so I'll make the roll.
You're the second person to come talk to me about this today. You see the same chalkboard over to the side, and you have to make some room on his desk amongst all the papers to set down the bowl. And you've made the roll, is that correct? Or are you about to?
No, I'm about to. I tried clicking 13 times.
Ye gads. Here we go.
There you go. So I got 4.
Four.
Four's
Okay.
highest.
That's fine. 4 is a success. There'll just be a complication. So what do you use as your heavier than water medium, and what do you use as your or heavier than the other liquid?
Mushroom soup.
Mercury.
Yeah. His face.
I'm just. Oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
No, that sounds on top. Yeah, and it'll be his blood if he doesn't do as I ask. Little shit. No, well, I mean, I can. I would imagine to put the brass gondolier in the water, or would I have to?
Tell me. Yep.
That would be it. So the brass gondolier connected to the bowl somehow, and
very good. So you put the other liquid in, ink or something that swirls around and starts to form the figure of a fairly beautiful young woman that you recognize. And she is, it looks like, honestly, doing laundry at a stream, like a peasant.
Okay, so I asked Hesperides, stream, location, recognize it. Okay, and then I call the name. What's her name?
Andrea.
Andrea is Mocklin, Monty's friend.
She looks startled.
Don't be startled.
Oh, she's startled.
Okay, look startled. Look startled. But please compose yourself. I have with me an officer and a good law-abiding officer of the watch. I've come to request he look into your removal from the city. Can you tell me where you are?
There's a knocking sound at the door. She says, she's looking around, a little bit concerned. She says, "You know that we're being watched." Hesperides moves.
They can't see me. Only you can see me. I put my finger up to Hesperides, and I basically just go.
Okay, I can't see you. I can't see.
One moment.
Yep, got it.
Okay, so I go. Just wait one moment, Hesperides. You need to.
There's a big.
And
knock
then I
on the
remember
door
that he can't hear. He can't hear what's going on. It's okay. Nobody can hear apart from me. You don't have to say things out loud.
She says, "I don't know where in the country exactly. We were in a wagon, possibly 2 days. There's a large farmhouse. It's got 2 towers at either side of the front wall. The lady is taking over the manor house. The grounds around it are mostly, it looks like orchards with apples. I don't know what I can do to help. There's 2 hills with a saddle between them that are off to the side, and a low forest. She's trying to find something that would help, and Hesperides is at the door as it's being banged on again.
Okay, we will find you. We will find you. I need to go. I may be in touch later, maybe much later, but thank you. This might help. And I cut the connection.
Tell him, and you just hear that as it cuts.
Who was it you were talking?
And I'll look at
what was her name?
Andrea.
Andrea.
You just heard.
Right.
Tell
Okay.
him. Yeah. Tell him, and then you'd
The
cut
most
it.
important thing is.
And then I give Hesperides the thumbs up.
He opens the door,
and I take the gondola out the water.
The door gets pushed open, and an imperious lady walks into the room with two other people that are robed up nicely. You recognize immediately that these are mercies. Mocklin.
Okay.
The female in the lead goes, "Oh, mighty interesting. Huh. One of those," and she points at Mocklin. And doing that, she points at the bowl. In here. Very interesting where your loyalties lie, Hesperides. Would your family be pleased to know? She pushes past Hesperides and stands in front of you. She's shorter than you, probably about 4 or 5 inches. She is not a big human being. However, her eyes burn with the fervor of those that know that they are right, and everyone else is wrong. I don't think we've met. I'm NVRA. She does not hold out a hand or bow.
I just look at her and I just give her that, oh so subtle. And then I turn to Hesperides. I've done all that I can. Can you please pass the information on to the relevant departments? And I describe or I relay exactly what Monty's Paramore described.
Andrea.
2 days out. Mm-hmm. Andrea, 2 days out.
Do you say this in front of the? Do you wait? Do you say this in front of this person?
Yeah, I'm dismissing her completely. She's beneath me.
That's fine. You can see a strange thing out of the corner of your eye is that her nostrils are moving like she is taking deep sniffs of the air around you. Yeah, but you keep talking.
Okay. Castellated towers, walls, etc., etc. There's a manor house. Believe Moon de Laval has taken over the manor, and her entourage. So if we find that, we might also find.
So he asked you,
and I look at the woman.
Okay, and she's staring at you very intently.
Okay, the other person as well.
You smell like a blooder. What do you say for yourself?
And you smell like a downtrodden tramp, but I don't cast accusations. Now, thank you. I've concluded my business. I'll be on my way.
I've heard you were gauche. And she steps aside.
Well, at least you've heard of me. I don't even know who you are. I believe you're beneath me, woman. Thank you, Hesperides, for your time. If you could help, that's all that I'm asking for. Not for me, but for a friend.
He nods.
I've done everything that I can within the legalities of the city and the denizens within.
I'm afraid you leave me at an awkward juncture, but I will attend to your needs as soon as possible. And he glances quickly across at the lady who is now going through the papers on his desk with impunity.
Oh no.
Thank you. And I just turn around and walk out the door.
The two men who are there are about your size. You can tell both have some sort of, you wouldn't call them knacks. It's not the same vibration, the same feel, but you would bet your bottom dollar that these guys could manipulate some form of magic. Just something you're not used to.
Well, I've got some bits and pieces in my so yeah, that's fine.
They step aside, and
I say thank you.
There's no response, and you're out. Okay.
I didn't expect any. I do have manners after all.
Look at that. Not as gauche as we thought. Okay. Very, very interesting how that's played out. Let's go down to Pietro.
Okay. So Pietro is going to train again.
Very good. And what?
He is going to be looking into information about the Deathless.
Oh, okay. So he's studying again. Very, very good. Yeah. All right. So let me think about this just a minute. So pretty much what you get from the books is you can make your, actually let's make your roll, and that'll help me decide what things to add or not add.
Okay. So what, a study roll, yeah?
Yep. Actually, no. I'm making you do a roll. You're doing study. I mean,
I'm doing study. Study is my action.
So, exactly. Yeah. So you automatically get your point. So I'm not going to make you do a roll. Instead, what I'd like you to do is roll me a luck roll just to see what you find, and I'll go off of that. Fair enough?
Yep.
Okay, I see a 3. It did not roll out on the screen. So pretty much everything you've read in the rule book about the Deathless and the sevenfold veils who wish to raise them and are a bit of a cult. The sevenfold veils as a cult has been in existence. It's not new. It's been around. It's been around for hundreds of years, and seems to have risen not long after the last of the Deathless was interred. There's indications that there have been multiple times in the past that are really fairly murky as you study them, that don't seem to be as covered by history as you would expect, that there have been some times where this sevenfold veil thing has been suppressed nicely as it was in the midst of doing something or other that was terrifying enough that the histories were occluded. The other thing you note is, as far as the Deathless, during the time of the Great Emperor, etc., that they were known to have dabbled in forms of magic that are unknown to us now. And you see something about the seam of life. They may or may not have been drawing magic from the seam of life.
Okay.
Okay. So you've gotten your thing. Let's go to good Sasha, who is, I think, having to spend something for this one.
Sasha has to help somebody else.
She didn't get a chance to in that whole round. So what we'll do?
Help me if she wants.
Okay. And yours was
My
trying to
next
find
one.
out. Oh, your next one? Okay, fair enough. So we can do that.
He wants because he knows they both like to gamble. He's going to invite Sasha with him to the gambling house to reduce some stress himself.
Okay, so you can be a supportive function for him as he's doing that, Sasha.
I shall do gladly.
Do I need to be helping as well?
You need to find a place to help to burn your other.
Well, I intend to spend some influence to advance the clock that I have, which is to discredit Cosimo Rossi. I don't know if anyone wants to do with that.
Okay, so I would love to see that you and Lorenzo work that. So because that is a roll that will determine how many clock pieces go upon there, and how many pieces are on there, and what does that look like at this point?
So at the moment, it's three pieces on there.
Okay, out of.
But yeah, I'd love to work with Lorenzo on that. I will write I can write a little skit that he can get his
street performer friends.
Street performer friends to play out this skit about the Cosimo Rossi scandal.
Okay, so and I think we were at. Who were we talking to at this? Before we jumped into yours.
So the first action was to get a story in the scandal sheets.
Yes. So what we can do?
Which is where I found out about the play. So.
Yes. I was gonna say, I think were we with whose turn was it that we just sort of bumped?
It was Sasha, and then I suggested she could help with my.
Got it. So Sasha,
we can come back to mine.
Got it. And we will. Sasha.
Yep.
So you're going to be helping Monty shortly. So you're burning a influence right now for one more action. What do you want to do with it? Knowing we're short on time.
Well, I actually like to try and put some more clock pieces into one of the clocks I've got running.
Okay.
But then, to be honest, I think we've kind of actually found some of that information out. My project that I had going was to find Lady Corvetto, how she was taken and who took her. Now, I think we've actually found
I think you found some. So why don't you take that down to like, how big was that one again?
That was a 12-piece clock you made me start.
And what are you at?
We're 3 into it.
So
nice description where it is now. So maybe you could
take that all the way up to halfway full, because you found out who, and you found out roughly when, and you put together a lot of that. The main thing you don't know is the where. And you know what? I'm going to give you 2 more pieces past the halfway point, because I think when you start putting together the description that you've gotten from Andrea via Mocklin, and start looking at maps and things like that, you may be able to narrow that down some more. So let's make this roll of some sort to see how many pieces you add.
Okie dokie. Well, I'm going to say, if I'm trying to work out where, is it a tracking?
Sure.
Type
Sure.
One? So I'm going to go hunt. Yeah.
Okay. Let's do this.
Ooh, 6.
Oh, there you go. So that's 3 pieces.
Okie dokie.
And you are much closer to pinpointing where this is. Probably.
I'm now a piece away.
Yep. You are fairly sure that she is in the Mordant Vale. There's hills around this area. You know there's a stream running through it, and there are multiple farms that are roughly of that same type of construction that went up in the same period. Okay, you've narrowed it down to possibly, 20 to 30 different farms in a area the size of Wales. Not quite Wales, Bala area, big area, but you still have knocked it down quite a bit. All right. Below you, Lorenzo. You're going to be helping Pietro on his round. Do you want to just go ahead and do that together now?
Yeah, so I'm basically going to go and find the street performers that I know of. I'm consorting with them and persuading them to play out this skit.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm thinking something like Punch and Judy.
Yep. Okay.
Only done out with Cosimo Rossi.
Okay.
A bear.
A bear. killing.
Victoria. Victoria. Ah.
And wheedling his way into House Lavelle and then kicking out Moon de Lavelle, betraying her. So yeah, something along those lines.
You can almost see the little puppet kicking the female puppet in the butt as she goes flying out of the house, and he's capering around as he's taking her spot. I love it. So let's make a roll to see how many pieces you get, and you get an extra die for the support of your good buddy Lorenzo, who knows all these people to give this play to. Okay, look at that. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's 4.
Thank you for the extra 6, Lorenzo.
That's 4 pieces. Is that it?
4 pieces, I believe, will not quite do it. I'm 1 piece.
Oh no!
Don't forget, because you got 2 6s, the flaming wings come out your ass.
True, yeah.
1 piece away.
Yeah.
1 piece away. So dang close. Well done. And his discrediting is going to have some serious impact, because if you're working a whole big clock to get it there, it's going to have to be a someone major in House Lavelle is going to take a disliking to him, or there's going to be maybe a comeuppance in the court. We'll have to see how this plays out, but you are pretty close to having his reputation tarnished nicely.
It's possible to spend another influence to increase that result?
You may not. You can spend an influence to do another action, but I've got to push on at this point to those who haven't. So let us look at. So Lorenzo, you may now spend for one of yours.
So I can spend influence, yeah?
Yep, and do an action. Knock it out.
I have no idea what action. So I can do. I can
you want to train?
But there's no point in that.
Or you could help finish off the clock.
Yes, you could.
Yeah, we could finish off either my clock or Sasha's clock.
There's some clocks to be filled.
There's clocks to be filled. So if we could fill those clocks up, we would possibly then know what we want to be doing in the next.
Yeah.
Oh well, which clock is going to be easiest to fill up? Yeah.
They both only have one left.
Yeah, so I mean, Sasha. Yeah, the thing is, any kind of success will fill the clock.
Any kind of success. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, Sasha's clock will find the missing
Lady Corvetto.
So we can then go and save her.
Okay.
Or mine would discredit Cosimo and in a significant way.
Yep.
So your choice.
I'm going to use Consort to find out a bit more about the farmers in that vale.
How?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And where do you do that? Amongst the wagoneers that are coming in, the teamsters that are bringing in vegetables from that area, or what?
I'll go to the corn exchange.
As you do.
With the Punch and Judy show.
Wonderful. And you're working amongst these people. I
I'm
like
working
it.
amongst them as they come out to have, I'll hang around the pie shop and take the piss out of Cosimo as well a bit.
There's an older grizzled gentleman with a sort of a corncob type pipe that he's smoking, watching your Punch and Judy show and chuckling to himself. And you ply him with some booze and some talk, and he knows most of the farms in that area. Let's see your roll and see what he tells you.
We're going to roll Consort.
Yep.
Can I spend? Is this risky or controlled?
You almost can't fail this because you're going to get the point. Okay, so I'm just rolling to see if he gives you anything extra. So really, you're just rolling the consort. It's you just call it risky standard, and this is what happens.
Risky standard.
Ooh, 6.
There we go. Okay. So he says, well, there's been some changes in the farms locally. Yeah, there was a. Yeah, I hear you. There was a grand lady who moved in with some folks. They took over one of the local farms. They evicted the family who was there. It was a bit of a travesty, really. Guards all around it. Guards all around it.
Where was that?
And he says, well, and he sort of pulls out his map that he uses to travel on. He says, I will tell you, there's this servant they've got. They send her out to the river to do all the laundry, and she's taken, she may be one of the most beautiful creatures you've ever seen. And he starts going on about this beautiful creature who comes down carrying piles of laundry from this place, all the guards' uniforms, everybody else, and spends most of the day down at the river.
So it's turning into a Disney film.
Yeah, pretty much. And she's talking to the birds who are landing on her arms. No. Anyway, but he says, but he pinpoints this on the map as you have filled up that clock. Okay, you guys know where you think most likely is the place that Moon de Lavelle has been sent in her exile.
Does that complete my clock as well then? Because we were looking for the same location.
Yes, it does.
Hang on. So we were looking for the location of the Lady Corvetto. Is that the same Lavelle is?
So I would say that yes, in his description of them coming in and everything else, there was and you will find this interesting. The lady herself was ill and had to be carried into the building. The local healers have been multiple times, and he spoke to one of those healers who said that there is an old lady in the house of great importance who was dying.
Oh.
Okay, so who's left here for us to knock out? before we finish up for this evening. I think.
Got a stress roll to do.
Yep. Go ahead.
Does Sasha with me do anything? Does it add an extra die or change the?
So Sasha will help you in what way? Let's talk about that really quick.
Just strategy. And
hold the money and stop you gambling.
Yeah.
You know what? I know that we haven't. I mean, that is a specific skill. That is a specific hard-earned skill to be able to help out. What I will say is, if you overindulge, she will be there to pull you back.
I think the main reason he just wants to talk while he's playing. I think.
Okay.
And have someone just to.
I'm happy. I'm happy with that.
Just to vent while he's playing.
I'm absolutely happy with that. So that was your burned turn, Sasha.
Yeah.
Is hanging out with him as he is indulging his own vice. Okay. So go ahead and make your roll. And if there's anything you'd like to chat with her, feel free.
He just talks. He just talks. He says, what happened with Hesperides, and has basically just annoyed that how Alaric is just adamant that he's gonna be just poking every time, and seemingly for no reason. He's like, well, nothing. I'm not done anything wrong. He would rather control her life than her be happy. And
yeah. And you're correct.
Oh, no.
It's about control. Ooh, interesting. So
well, great.
So we're having 1 die of stress removed. Wow.
Yeah, because just pick the highest one. They're both blooming.
Yes. Now I will offer you this as an extended option to continue gambling and burn an influence.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. I'm just trying to burn some of it. You guys are making more than you're burning. It's killing me.
Problem.
How's anyone who hasn't rolled a 6?
I think I'm not using it properly in the game. Oh, what does that do to you?
I had 7, so I'm now, and I took 1 off, so I'm now done. And so this is 6 more, so I'm down to 0.
Perfect.
Excellent. You could not have done that better. All right. With that, go ahead.
There's coterie influence to spend. We need to reduce our exposure. Can we do that quickly?
Yes, you may. Yes, you may. How would you like to do
that? Well, just reduce the coterie exposure. So I'm thinking maybe can we get this play shut down for use of dangerous animals?
Absolutely. Ooh. Absolutely. With that influence, in fact, you could probably purchase the rights to the play itself and get it and just take it in the whole as part of that whole thing.
So we'll spend 1 influence there?
Let's see.
Or 2 influence.
Describe what they do to reduce exposure. Make an action roll. And your action roll will tell us what happens on the reduced exposure.
So we're using, I guess, the watch, which is one of our sphere of influences.
Okay. So you're working through them.
I mean, I think that they're. Would it be them or would it be?
That's perfectly fine. You're talking to them about the risk and the life and limb. You've already laid the groundwork with Hesperides on that.
There to prevent it. There'd have been deaths.
We have
absolutely.
Data. Yeah.
So let's make this roll, and we'll see how much it reduces.
Okay.
So 1 to 3 reduces by 1, 4 to 5, 2, 6 is 3, critical is 5.
Right, who's rolling?
Sasha?
Okay. What am I roll? So just a D6.
Yeah.
Really?
All you have is a D6? I mean, this is an action.
Oh,
is that an action? Oh, okay. Well, in that case,
just
go with,
ignore this. Ignore this.
I will go with a sway then. That seems like a reasonable. want to do.
What action? So is Sasha doing the action, or is someone else doing the action?
I'll do. I think I'm best with sway. So
Okay.
Yeah, my sway.
Go for it. There we go.
4.
So 4 is reduced by 2.
2. Okay.
Works. Yeah.
Okay. Is there?
Exposure down
Poetry's
to
exposure's
4.
down to 4.
Yeah,
Okay.
we might want to spend another point. I think.
Okay.
Influence is down to 3 at the minute.
Very
isn't it?
good.
Yeah. So put influence down to 2.
What do you guys do for this one?
Any ideas? Reduce our exposure. We don't want people talking about us.
Team? Lachlan?
Is this maybe working on Hesperides in some way? He's the one talking about us most at the moment.
No, yeah, but we'd have to role play all that if we were to do it.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, but yeah, understanding time and everything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get an idea, Lachlan? Lorenzo?
The children at the orphanage.
Okay.
I'm thinking to reduce some exposure. Exposure is negative, yeah? Negative exposure. Right, okay. So let's get... Anyone know a good tailor? Let's get the orphanage, the children of the orphanage, some new clobber, and let's get a press release done.
Haven't we done that?
For it.
With the watch, we did.
With the watch, we did. We haven't done anything. We saved the children and we put a new mistress in place. But let's donate some clothes and toys.
Sounds good.
Very good.
Now, your paramour can do toys. Pietro?
if they like playing with dead animals.
Yeah.
I have a small yellow dress who could go and I can donate.
She's got a whole line of these they can oppose their limbs. They're rats that she's done up.
What do you think?
We will pay. Well, we can basically provide the materials, and the orphans can make the toys and.
Oh, that's cool.
Making toys.
That's better. That's better. Yeah, because then at least they're able to learn something.
Very good.
Something whilst they're doing. Yeah. So that's what I would do. I would use the influence and get that type of positive exposure to negate some of our negative exposure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And from that, I would go for another sway roll.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Let's do it. And by the way, the broadsheet guy that you've got to cover this whole thing is the same one who wrote up all the glowing reviews for the play that didn't actually happen, and is a bit embarrassed about the whole thing. So he's very pleased. So we see a 1, 2, and a 5. The 5 reduced by 2.
So puts us down to 2, which is much better.
That's much better.
So we've got 2 influence left for the coterie, and then 2 exposure, which is a lot better. Yeah.
Well done, guys. I mean, seriously. Okay, so let us really quickly talk about the 2 activities you have left in this social season, and the possible things that you might do. So what were those that the house asked you to do?
Right. So one was to help out on where are we? Okay. Solve and avenge the murder of Vittoria in a way that does not implicate the house, but sends a message that we are not to be messed with.
Yep.
Number 2, the dead watchers from Necropolitan Hill need support with disturbances, groups of people digging, etc. And 3, the house must put its single men forward for the race of antlers. Basically.
So here's the problem set: is the next time we play, it's the race of antlers, and we have multiple single men. unless you are betrothed before this happens, you are single men. I'm thinking that means Lorenzo. That means Monty, because sadly he didn't get a chance to propose.
No, we did. We did. We did
Ah,
propose.
yes, but it was conditional.
Conditional on Alaric's.
You might be able to argue your case with the house.
Well, Alaric isn't around to argue against it.
So here's what we'll do, and I'll say this now. You are exempt from running because of the conditionality of your proposal. However, Lorenzo, Macklin, Pietro are running in the race of antlers, and so is a young cadet, as long as he is back in port.
And the monkey. Don't forget the monkey.
Ah, yes.
What is the race of antlers?
The race of antlers. So this is where the single gentlemen of the town run an obstacle course, and they run all through the town, and if they are caught in these token nets that are thrown by the women, they are obliged to marry them. Now, they also are offered the chance to ransom themselves. Okay? So amongst the common folk, that's a funny thing. Ha ha ha. I caught old so-and-so's boyfriend. He better ransom. He's going to buy me drinks at the bar tonight. For you nobles, it turns into a very serious game where if you are caught by someone who demands the marriage and you are not able to ransom yourself properly, you're due to the marriage. You could see how some of you, pending people knowing things, Macklin, might be a juicy target. You could see how Pietro, Lorenzo, that capturing you would be nice because you could catch someone from that house that's on the rise and get something out of them. Can we hear each other on Twitch? Things just went really weird.
House Lavella doing their broadband management again.
Yeah, silly House Lavelle. But that was really strange. It just seemed to have dropped off in a hurry. So
the only thing I need to know is for next week is whether or not the engagement is off or
just a minute as I make sure I've got this source added, and geegads. Okay, go ahead, speak away, Rob. What you were saying?
Okay, so the only thing that I really need to know for next week is whether or not the engagement to Moon is on or off, and I would imagine that would be based upon whether or not they managed to break in, bust down the doors, and basically rescue Andrea and
so. I will tell you.
Old Mother Hubbard.
I will tell you this. The rescue is pretty much an activity, unless you guys make it some sort of long-term clock. It's not just going to happen. It's going to take time out of your desperately short amount of time.
Yeah, we can't afford the time. I think what we do is we let let the Corvetto know And
what we know. Yeah, I totally agree.
Yep.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Which then means that I'm engaged, so I can't run, but I will run because I want to be part of the race. Because let's face it, it doesn't happen all the time, does it? But also, I want to run alongside my teammates.
No, Pietro's not running. Pietro has proposed to Letta Barbolini.
When?
Just now.
Yeah. Well, we'll see about that.
Why
Was that your downtime activity whilst you were studying?
So we're still in downtime. He's allowed to do this.
No, you're out of downtime activities. What I'm going to say is, next time around, I may give some opportunity for that type of thing. But at this point, you just haven't had the time to deal with some of that. And honestly, that's the same problem that several of you have, where you are close to a point with your paramours that you'd like to get there, but at the same time, I mean, like Sasha, she doesn't want him netted by some idiot young family who thinks that they can take advantage of what influence he's got growing. But at the same time, they haven't made that step yet. And whereas, the worst case out of this, to some extent, is poor Monty, who completely intended to move forward with his courting, and is now having to run, knowing that if someone's holding it over his head, they have a serious lever upon him for ransom because he doesn't want to marry someone else.
Is Sasha's paramour running in it?
Yes, he is. But who would want to net that poor boy? He's from a minor family. He's a handsome young cadet, but come on. What who would possibly want to hurt you guys by possibly netting him? I can't imagine.
House Calamari.
I cannot imagine him having any problems during this event. Now, the neat thing about it is it is run through the city. Part of it is running. Part of it is pushing gondolas. And there are multiple obstacles to overcome. Those obstacles become roles for you guys. Okay? You're scooting along. You're scooting along. But when you get to this obstacle area they have set up, that's where all the ladies are waiting with their nets. Okay? There is a laurel to be won for being the first ones across the finish line. Or first one. So there is a joy to moving as rapidly through the gauntlet as rapid as you can. That's great. However, there are all of these obstacles, and each time you get near one, which slows all the racers down, the nets start coming in. And that will require rolls to try and evade and get away. There are lots of observation points at those locations because that's the exciting points. Those of you who are not running can choose to do things like, Sasha, throw a net yourself. Or
indeed,
you can
wear a pair of boxing gloves to punch anybody who's throwing a net.
Absolutely. And so there's things like that can be done. And let's say that one of you guys, like is Mocklin or someone, is able to get out of the run whatsoever. There are other ways to assist from afar. You'll have to decide how you do so. But next session, we're going to be running the race of antlers, guys. Get your get limber. And that will take us down to one activity left out of the entire season. And I wonder what you guys will do with that. Okay, things to think about. We're at 10:17. We've gone a little bit over. We started a little bit late because of technical issues. We really hope to have a better video solution next time. Once again, it is what it is, but you at least got to hear the voices of our esteemed players. Okay. Anyone have any announcements besides the one that I'm going to make?
Yeah. Hi to the guys of UC. Because they're still watching. God knows why, but they're still watching our tomfoolery and buffoonery. I hope they're still loving it.
God
and
bless,
also, on that note, we have in the upcoming events at the end of March, we have a unique opportunity to play test a brand new scenario for Call of Cthulhu with the writer and the designer of said scenario. It will be around the table, so we're not going to have frozen image. Well, we better not have frozen images. And that's going to be live on Twitch, I believe.
Yep.
On the 30th,
yes, sir.
we will broadcast more times and things like that later. And I've just been told it's not UT, it's OU University. So I do apologise, but we love you guys anyway, and just ignore me like my friends do.
So, addendum to that, if you wanted to Google, this is Matthew Sanderson, the writer, and he has got several books under his belt, as well as quite a few adventures for the Chaosium group. So exciting that our team honestly has been chosen to help playtest for Chaosium for some of the new works that they're trying to do. That'll be the 30th of March, and we're going to start in the morning, and then we're going to run into the afternoon, and so it'll be about 10 BST.
GMT. Oh, EST.
Yeah. And then it'll run, and then we'll run for a couple hours, have lunch, and then we'll get back on and run some more. For those that are able to see any of that, it should be awesome. And if not, you can look for it on YouTube, and it should be a really neat thing for our team to be playing with a professional game master, not me, a truly professional game master, and seeing how all of our personalities play out in that type of scenario. Shocking, fun. Felix won't be there because he's petting his monkey in a corner somewhere. But otherwise, should be a great time. Cool. All right. Thank you, guys. And I'll catch you next time.